once we have our elections set up, and by that I mean, of course, offices and various races in place, and as we can see here, candidate headshots, names, and party logos have all been imported, we'll be focusing on election night or the election day on the rundowns. Now, at the beginning of the day, it's a good idea to have rundowns already created with some offices to show. In Elect It, on the Rundown tab, we're able to divide rundowns into different bins. Here, the bins can be defined either by the person that's adding or creating content to the rundown. Bins can be defined by a different look. However, your election broadcast or production needs to break it down. Within individual bins, we also have rundowns. So there could be, again, rundowns for exciting races and results, geographically split to different areas, again, entirely up to you. The building of a rundown consists of selecting a scene. So in this case, we'll select some of our template scenes that we have available. I'm going to pick Flare Scene. This is a 2-candidate headshot sort of comparison that we can see through the thumbnail. The scene can be added to the given rundown, but what we see is that the contest or the data itself is missing, even though the scene is in the list. We can add that information by, of course, selecting which election we want to look at. So here I'll select Super Tuesday, and then the contest, which I would like to add to it. So for example, we can add Arkansas, and I can drag that into the empty contest. And to save yourself some steps, of course, Elect It allows you to simply select the contest. The scene in which I've already selected is still enabled. And by clicking the Add Scene and Content, it saves me the step of having to drag the contest separately. However, of course, if I've made a mistake or wanted to change something, I can drag and replace different contests over top. So even though it's already in the rundown, we can replace what's there, of course, add new ones. On election night, when results start coming in, Elect It has a few extra features that help during the stress of an election night. So for example, allowing duplicates. This is off by default, but this means if I attempt to add California into my rundown again, I get an error or at least a warning message indicating that it's already in the list. This allows us to prevent duplication. Text can be kind of small looking through a browser sometimes, so there is a magnifier option, and in which case any highlighted or wherever your mouse happens to be becomes enlarged. So if I was going to, for example, drag items even in the rundown itself, it enlarged the item that it's hovering over, making it a little bit more readable. On election night itself, our political experts or team or individual again will typically be looking at the results tab. Here in the results page or tab, we have the active results coming in for any given election. The results tab provides you with visuals to quickly see who's in front. You can also select to drill down and get further details on the various candidates and all of the polling results that have come in. We can also create multiple tabs so that way we can very quickly jump back and forth on the results tab to monitor different areas. To do so, we simply type into the custom page field. So in this example, I can type in Arkansas. And when I hit enter, what we see here is that my Chrome tab has actually the label Arkansas Dems. I can create a second page then if I wanted to make a comparison create a second page for Arkansas where we're looking at, of course, the Republicans. And again, now I can duplicate this particular tab and label it accordingly. Now on election night, very quickly, one can jump back and forth and see the two different parties in Arkansas and the results for them. If interesting results are identified here on our Results tab, our team doesn't have to go back to the Rundown tab in order to add these to our lists. The Results page provides access to the Rundown tab through a quick little shortcut on the side. By clicking on it, what I can do is select which bin and which rundown I would like to add my content to. So Flare new. And here, for example, I can add my Arkansas result. I can allow or duplicates or replace any existing ones that may happen to be in the list. Of course, I need to select the scene that I want to use. In this case, we select our flare scene with 2 candidates and add that to the rundown. We quickly get a message that one has been added. And if we actually go back to our rundown tab, we'll actually see now that this new race has actually been added to what we had there before. All of this building of the rundowns behind the scenes with a close look at the results helps our on-air operator by simply providing them with the most relevant races in the form of a rundown which they can access, rather than them having to evaluate the results as well as generate the graphics to put to air.